Greetings from San Salvador. We are at the international airport here in El Salvador, about to leave to head back to New York. But no, we are not starting the day in the airport. We're actually wrapping up the day. So let's rewind and share with you what we did today. Come on, let's go.
A little bit of conversation, a little bit of relaxation. Across the sea, city to city, come par with me. Tell me when you're ready to leave. With my cruising family, across the skies and sea. Come and par with me, yeah. What you waiting for? Just step out that door and explore. Are you ready to par with me and this cruising family? My cruising family.
We woke up at about 3 a.m. and got on the road at a little after 4 a.m. from Garten, our hotel in El Zonte, El Salvador. We are in the car with Jose, who has been our tour guide in El Salvador for the most part, but today he is driving us across the border to Guatemala and back. Can we do a day visit to Guatemala and back to El Salvador in time for our flight tonight? Well, let's see. The drive to the location we want to get to is estimated to be about 4.5 to 5 hours long. It is required to go through immigration before leaving El Salvador. We're in Guatemala. Of course, we have to go through immigration on the Guatemala side as well, and then we'll continue to drive through. Our drive into Guatemala starts out along the countryside, and we see some cute little tuk-tuks along the way. From here in the countryside, we've started to get glimpses of the city. I've turned the camera on to capture another glimpse if we get one. It's pretty spectacular in person to see peaks of the city through the trees and hills of the countryside. We are now driving through the city on our way to Antigua. As we enter historic Antigua, we're now driving on cobblestone streets, so Jose is taking it slowly to be safe, and we're going to sit back and enjoy this ride to our primary destination in Guatemala today, which we will share with you shortly. Hobbitenango, we are here! Well, this is the base of Hobbitenango. We have to walk up some steps, then a bit of an incline to get to the ticket booth, then more steps to get on the truck ride up the hill. More on that to come. After a truck ride, that took my breath away. We are here. And this is what we came here for. Look at this. This is gorgeous. We'd heard about Hobbitenango and seen many pictures of the famous troll hand overlooking Guatemala, so when planning our visit to El Salvador and knowing how close we would be to this location, we contacted David at Taxi Express eTours to find out if he could provide transportation for us between El Salvador and Guatemala, and he immediately responded with a yes. So here we are. We also hired Diana Alvarado to capture these moments. What do you say? Worth the drive to Guatemala for this? There's mini golf behind us, but for us, along with the troll hand here at Hobbitenango, another location we want to experience isn't the mini golf course or the swings. We basically want to explore the little hobbit houses. Of course we want pictures there. So now to find a hobbit house that isn't crowded. On our way down from the hobbit houses, and this made me smile.
You look beautiful.
Gracias, thank you. That was so sweet. I know people at Hobbitenango probably think we just got married or engaged since we're in all white, but in reality, this year we celebrate 19 years since we met, 18 years since we've been together, and 15 years married, and counting, still walking together through it all. We've gotten a taste of Abatenango, and if we want to get something to eat and catch our flight tonight, we've now got to make our way back down the hill and back to El Salvador. We are now on the truck back down the hill, and this right here is calm compared to the actual ride. It's the few seconds that I could grab the phone to capture anything, because the rest of the time I was holding on for dear life. Whew, we got down the hill safely, thank God, and we are now driving through the cobblestone streets of Antigua again, where we will stop for an authentic Guatemalan meal.
From Abatenango, we are now at El Comalote. It is highly recommended by Diana, our photographer.
Yes, see, that's the Jamaica drink again, or Jamaica drink, like what we had on our first night in El Salvador.
Gracias.
¿Deseas picante?
Ah, sí.
We're having pepian, a delicious chicken stew with rice and avocado.
Mucho caliente. This is gorgeous. Nice backdrop for a Sunday brunch.
On our way back to the car to head back to El Salvador. Of course, there's an immigration stop along the way.
Buenas tardes.
In addition to speaking with the woman at the border, we also had to go into the border control building to present our documents and be allowed back into El Salvador. Speaking Spanish is essential here. Thankful Jose is with us because my Spanish is basic. We've been driving from before the sun came up today, and we're still driving after the sun has gone down. We're back at Garten to pick up our suitcases and to catch our flight back to New York. Garten, our hotel in El Salvador, provided our transportation back to the airport.
Our flight leaves from gate 17. We're heading to gate 19 to the Priority Pass Lounge. So that's what we did today. And now we're about to board our flight back home. We do have a lot of debriefing to do on our stay here in El Salvador, as well as today's day trip to Guatemala, as you saw. I mean, I don't know if you have any initial thoughts you want to say, how your time was overall.
It was a long day, but it was a good day.
Oh, that's today. So yes, today you saw it. You just saw it. Good day, but overall time here.
It was a good time.
It was a good time. Y'all know me, I'm very detailed. So there's a lot that I'd like to break down, a lot that I'd like to debrief. So let's get into it. Okay, never mind the wonky lashes. Yeah, I just need to stick with the right lash lady in Brooklyn and stop going to this lash lady in Queens, but that's besides the point. Anyway, so to get into a quick overview of feedback from El Salvador, and from our very quick trip, to be fair, I'll start off with that. Don't do what we did. We came from Memorial Day weekend. We spent 2 days, technically 3 full days, but if you look at it, May 24th to May 26th is 2 days. And we got in a lot for that time, but of course it didn't give us time to truly indulge and, immerse ourselves into the culture here in El Salvador. And then we added Guatemala on top of it. You can make a full vacation in one of these places, and we did both of these places in 2 to 3 days. So, and I say 2 to 3 because we arrived early on the 24th, so technically you could say we had the 24th, 25th, and 26th, and now it's nighttime here in El Salvador. So don't do 2 to 3 days if you don't have to, but if you want to and follow these steps, you can, it's possible. So one thing we wanted to show you is it's feasible. We know that PTO is something that not everybody has a whole lot of, and yeah, it's feasible to do a long weekend here and to hit both places or just one, whichever you prefer. Now, I'm not saying don't come here, I'm saying come, but give yourself time because there's a lot to do. We did, as you saw, we did the rainbow slide. As you saw, we did the crater visit to the El Bocaron crater. We did Picnic Steakhouse is where the rainbow slide is. We also did a city tour of La Libertad. So, you know, there are things to do, and those were some, I would say, very calm, laid back, easy to, you know, get in sorts of things on the itinerary. There are other things though. There's El Tunco, there's Naui Beach House. Those things, when I was researching this trip, like darn near everybody said that they did those. And we didn't get around to that because we also wanted to relax. So basically in El Salvador, what we can see and what we've experienced is the ability to be up and as active as you would like and to relax if you would like. And that's the kind of vacation we like. As you know, we love cruising, and we did not do a cruise this time, but I think that's something that is typical of a cruise. You can make it as exciting and active as you'd like, and you can also make it as relaxing as you'd like. And so we wanted to really relax on this one. I'm not sure how much I hit that out the ballpark though, because I'm actually quite exhausted, I think, because today in Guatemala was such a long day. And so to get to that, you can do both countries in one visit, whether it's 3 days or whether it's a longer time. If we did it in 2 to 3 days, you definitely can do it with a longer visit. Hit El Salvador and Guatemala. We do recommend that. The roads, obviously, because we had to drive there. The drive was about 4 to 5 hours. It wasn't fully 5 hours, but it was a little bit more than 4. And that one way, of course. So multiply that by 2 for your round trip. And the roads are excellent here. I told Allan, I said, these roads are better than New York, okay? So great roads. And I would have to say, I guess that's great infrastructure for the countries. In Guatemala, of course, there's Antigua, and in Antigua there are cobblestone roads, so that's the bumpiest we had. And of course going up the hill for Hobbitenango, but that's like a special attraction that's made that way up the hill. But generally where the cars are driving, the roads are well paved, well maintained. One thing I have to say here is this experience was eye-opening and self-reflective in that we live in the United States of America, where people often talk about migrants this, migrants that. People are coming in looking for opportunity. We're just visiting for a couple days here in El Salvador, yet at the same time it's humbling because I pride myself in loving cultures and languages. I did not officially study Spanish. I studied French and Italian in high school and in college, but from Italian and from many friends who speak Spanish fluently at that, I pick up on Spanish a lot, and I understand much more Spanish than I speak or than I'm confident speaking. And so I found myself like a deer in headlights when certain things were being said and asked. Even though I understood it, I was trying to filter through the files in my mind to find a response and just didn't answer. And I thought about the migrants in the United States, and that, you know, they may even understand what we're saying. Some may not. But just the feeling of, you know, but I still belong here, I still want to be here, and I can still contribute, and just that language barrier. So with all that said, I encourage you, implore you, if you would like to visit El Salvador, Guatemala, and to be honest, even if you don't want to visit these specific countries, but you want to go to a Spanish-speaking country or another country that speaks another language other than English, learn the other language. I mean, you don't have to be fluent, but learn it. Be conversational. Right now, honestly, I feel like I need to go home and brush up on the languages that I did learn, and definitely brush up on Spanish. Yeah, I'm a little disappointed in myself with the lack of speaking back, but I'm also proud for the Spanish that I did speak and for the responses that I did give when I gave them. So there's that. As a Jamaican, I set a high bar for hospitality, and I have to say that El Salvador and Guatemala do come off as newer in the hospitality and tourism industry, but they're doing a good job. If you want to come somewhere to be pampered, lay on a beach. Now, usually when you think of lay on a beach, I think most people think of like yellow sand, like regular sand beach, not black sand beach. Both Guatemala and El Salvador are volcanic countries, and so the beaches are black sand beaches. It's not your typical beach, so if you want a regular typical beach vacation, this is not that, and your research will quickly show you that. If you want to just lounge, whether it be on the beach or in a room, you have to really vet your hotels. Where we stayed, Garden, I do definitely recommend Garden El Zonte in El Salvador. Garten is the name of the hotel. It's in El Zonte. I recommend it. I would caution you, it is far from darn near everything. So to get out to El Boquerón, to get out to the Picnic Steakhouse, to get out to even the airport, it's like a good hour plus to get to places. But if you want a vacation or a secluded, you know, retreat to just relax, then hey, it's your thing. Do it. Yeah, so those are quick, you know, what's on my mind from this trip before we run to get this plane because they're about to start boarding.
Well, I wholeheartedly agree with what she said. But however, it's been a long day. I'm very tired, so I'm not thinking straight right now. So I can't really give a definitive answer on how I feel about the trip. I did have an incredible trip, though. It was an incredible trip. It was an incredible time. Saw a lot, experienced a lot. Like my wife said, we are about culture. I love to see how other cultures live. So I was impressed with the culture, the people. Even though I didn't understand the language, I was impressed with the people.
He needs to make an effort to learn the languages before we go places, because you know I'm going places, and all the places I got left to go likely speak other languages.
Yes, I also need to make an effort to learn the languages before I go, but it was an incredible time. Short, but worth it. That's my 2 cents for right now.
Let us know in the comments if you have any questions, if this has been helpful, you know, whatever it is, you know, we'll answer. And I will look to do a YouTube live if you want it. You could drop that in the comments. So if you don't want it, I'm not going to do it, okay? But if you want a YouTube live to go through Q&A from this trip, go on ahead and let us know that in the comments too. On our way to our gate. We're on our way to our gate. It's about that time to go home. Here's a quick look at the Priority Pass Lounge downstairs. We ate upstairs though.
Didn't stop boarding yet.
Oh, we didn't start boarding yet? Maybe we can go grab some food for this flight because you know Avianca is not feeding us. We know Avianca's not feeding us, so we're about to go grab something that we'll have to eat on board, maybe, if the lines aren't long, and come back to the gate. We went to the Priority Pass Lounge, ate as you saw, chit-chatted with you for a little bit. Came back down and Wendy's was closing up, guys. So look, we're not gonna get Wendy's or whatever. We got some water and like some Ritz crackers. That should tide us over till we get to New York because we're gonna sleep because it's almost midnight. Well, it's almost 11 o'clock, all right? So we'll see you on board. There's our plane. Let's go, Avianca. We are on board Avianca again, now heading from El Salvador back home to New York City. Join us for this flight. This honestly may be a truncated video where the flight is concerned. If you want to see full details on what this Avianca jet is like, check our vlog from our flight from New York to El Salvador. The plane is the same layout. We waited to get on board before making that statement, just in case, but it's the same layout, all right? Remember, I'm 5'11" and I can stretch my legs fully under the seat. There's some room here. This seat does not recline. Oh, but the armrest does go up and down. So see, there's the armrest. There's nothing on it to recline. There's nothing for an entertainment system because there is no entertainment system. No reclining seat. No reclining seat. And that's okay. This is the classic ticket level. Avianca now has different ticket levels, as we explained on our video flying from New York to El Salvador. When we flew Avianca in 2018, there were no ticket levels. Now there are ticket levels. So we have the classic ticket, and this seat has no reclining. There's no entertainment. However, it gets the job done, and we got safely from New York to El Salvador, and prayerfully we'll get safely from El Salvador back to New York. United! We just flew them in March! I love when God drops little things like that to say, hey girl, I'm right there with you.
And just like that, we're landing in New York. Thank God for safe travels. Safe and happy travels to you as well. Thanks for watching.
of conversation, a little bit of relaxation. Across the sea, city to city, come par with me. Tell me when you're ready, ready to leave. With my cruising family, across the skies and sea. Come and par with me, yeah. What you waiting for? Just step out that door and explore. Are you ready to par with me and this cruising family? My cruising